Hi, I'm out at my watermelon patch and I'm going to show you how to grow watermelons in the north. First thing that you want to do is you want to pick a nice sunny spot. I'm in Pennsylvania in the Allegheny Mountains and I'm about 2,000 feet in elevation, which it's not real hot, not real cold here, but it's not the ideal climate for growing watermelons. So you got to look for a little microclimate, a place that's pretty hot on your property. All right, so this is a sunny spot. This spot gets pretty hot and it's all day sun here. Okay, once you find your spot, you figure out how big you want your watermelon patch to be. Mine's pretty large. It's 20 feet wide by 50 feet long. You could go as small as 20 by 20 and still get a decent amount of watermelons from a patch that size. Okay, so you want to pick your spot. You want it to be sunny. You want it to be the hottest place you can find. Then in the spring, early spring, you want to come out with your riding mower or whatever you cut your grass with, and you want to put it on the lowest setting that you can mow with and get rid of all the grass. Mow it down. I call it scalping it. So scalp it so there's hardly anything left. Okay, after you scalp it, you want to fertilize it using 10-10-10 fertilizer. You can use organic or not, that's your choice. 10-10-10 fertilizer. As directed on the package. I fertilize lightly. I just spread it out with a little scoop evenly on the whole patch. That's how I do it. And once you've got it fertilized, you don't want to cover it up yet with the plastic. Wait till it rains a little bit on it so it starts to get in there. And then you're going to put your plastic down. Now there's still going to be a lot of that fertilizer showing when you put it down. It doesn't matter. It's going to get real moist under there, and that fertilizer is going to dissolve and feed the watermelon, throughout the course of the summer. All right, so you get your plastic, you lay it out, you use something to hold it down. I use rocks, some of them quite large. They do sell plastic staples, they call them. I've never used them, but a lot of people use them. I just have my big rock pile that I use every year, and put them pretty close because you don't want a wind getting underneath there and blowing it up and messing things up. All right, so you lay down your plastic, and again, you're doing this early in the spring before it's time to plant. And I let the plastic down there for probably 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, till it gets good and hot. And that way it cooks any of the vegetation under there. And then when it's time to plant, I get my plants. I buy the plants, the little small ones that you get in a flat. And when I get my plants, I go onto the plastic. I go right in the middle, right at dead center, and I cut a hole in the plastic, a circle that is 1.5 feet in diameter. All right, and then I go between that circle and the top edge of the plastic, and I cut another one, equidistant from the circle in the center to the top there. I plant another circle 1.5 feet in diameter. Okay, and you can see the dirt in there. This would be the middle circle where I plant, and then I go up about this far. Here's another one. Here's the other circle here. You can see it there. Okay, 1.5 feet in diameter, and then I do the same thing down on the bottom half of the patch. Okay, I plant 3 plants in there. As far as like getting the soil ready, I take a little hand garden shovel, and I just dig it down about 1 foot, chop it all up right in the circle, make it all nice, get out any rocks, and then just smooth it out so that it's level with the plastic. You don't want a hill or anything. And then you just stick 3 plants in that circle. You can do 4 if you want. 3's enough. You don't want to do any less than 3, or else you won't get as many watermelons because they spread out in all different directions, and you get so many watermelon per plant. So I'd put 3, maybe 4, in the circle, and then you just basically are watching them, it gets really hot on this plastic, so you want to make sure if it's not going to rain, you want to make sure you give them some water. And I use a little plastic watering can, holds 1.5 gallons of water. I fill it up and I split it up among the 3 holes where I have the watermelon planted. And if it rains, then I don't do that. I just kind of watch it. You don't want it to get too dry in there. And they really grow like crazy. This is July. I'll get between 60 and 90 watermelon out of this patch. Most of them will be right around 30 pounds. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller, but about average 30 pounders. They're really good. They're real dark red. The variety I use is Crimson Sweet. That's my favorite one, Crimson Sweet. That's what I recommend. And you'll get watermelons. Now it's July, near the end of July here. I've got some little watermelons coming here. Here's a little guy. I've got some ones that are getting a little bigger in there. It's kind of hard to see in the patch there, and I don't want to fall on it. There's one in there. I don't want to step on anything. When they get big, you just kind of have to figure out how to get them out of here without stepping on the vines, but you'll find a way. I usually take an assistant with me. I'll lean in there and figure out where I can put my feet. I'm just reaching out to show. There's another one over there. And you cut them with a knife. You cut the vine and you lift them out and you hand them to somebody because they're pretty heavy, those 30 or 35 pounders. There's another one here. Okay, they're looking pretty good. I haven't counted them yet. I've got a lot of yellow flowers, and they're just starting. Don't be surprised if you don't see anything for a long time, and then all of a sudden they'll start growing like crazy, and they'll get really big fast. So once, like those ones I just showed you there, I'll be watching them now. I'll probably be getting some to eat near the end of August. Maybe a little earlier. There's another one in there. I don't know. They're good camouflage. It's hard to see. There's another one. I'm just walking around. It's kind of hot right now out here. And this is the watermelon patch. And when I said I was going to grow watermelon around here, everybody said I was crazy because nobody grows watermelon around here. We just buy it at the grocery store. Everybody figures you have to live in South Carolina, which is a nice place to live, to grow watermelon. But I grow them here in Pennsylvania. I think you can grow them anywhere in the Northeast. Just go through the steps real quickly. First thing is pick a sunny spot. The next thing is scalp your grass with your mower. Get it as low as you can get it. Next, you want to fertilize using 10-10-10 fertilizer as directed. Lay out your plastic. Find something to hold it down. I use rocks. You can use whatever. You know, they sell commercial products for it. And then let it sit there for a while. Get the ground all heated up. Get any vegetation killed underneath there. Then when it's time to plant, take your plants out, cut holes about 1.5 feet in diameter, circles, spread equidistant throughout your patch. I like to have at least about 12 feet from the hole to the edge of the patch. So the hole would be right about there, okay, and it's about 12 feet that way, and I have about the same distance between them. My patch is on a little bit of a slope, so it's a little weird the way it grows, but get a lot of watermelons on it. Okay, so you cut your holes 1.5 feet in diameter. All right, put about 3 plants in each hole, 3 to 4. I wouldn't go any lower than 3, and then you just watch them, water them as needed, and eventually they'll get so big you can't get in there. Once they're that big, you don't have to worry about them. This is absolutely no spray. I spray nothing on this. All right, this is organic. If you use organic fertilizer, it's organic. You won't have to spray anything. Occasionally you'll get a couple cucumber beetles on there. I just, when the plants are little, I just look. I haven't seen any this year, but if there's a few, I just pick them off by hand and get rid of them that way. They won't bite you, and generally they won't hurt the watermelon because the watermelon vine's so big it can survive a few cucumber beetles. Never sprayed these ever. I've been doing this for about 8 years. I always get between 60 and 90 big 35 pound watermelons on it. I think you should try it. It's really nice to have your own watermelon. They really do taste better than the ones in the store. I'm not putting down the store ones, but boy, you'll see the difference. They'll be dark red. Whenever I give somebody one of these watermelons, I'm really serious about this. They always say that it's the best watermelon they've ever had. Okay, and they're always shocked that I grow them here in Pennsylvania. So I think you guys should try it. You don't have to do a big huge patch. Maybe start with a small one, maybe like 20 by 20. The plastic comes in 20-foot wide lengths. All right, maybe I'd do a 20 by 20 and just do one circle and try it and see what happens. If you have a sunny spot, I think you're gonna really like the watermelons you get, and they will go off the plastic. I just keep it mowed until the vines get off the plastic. You can see they're coming off here. All right, and I'll get watermelons off the plastic too. They grow them on grass down in South Carolina. All right, so you can grow them on the grass if you want, but I really never had success till I used the black plastic. Oh, and when you get the black plastic, when you go to lay it down, there'll be a shiny side and another side that they call the fuzzy side. And so my kids laugh when I say this. Whenever they ask how do we do the plastic, you always say fuzzy side up. So you want the fuzzy side up on the plastic, and that's about all I can think of. It's not too complicated. It's a little bit of work when you do it, but it's fun. It's kind of a family project. You're not going to lay all this plastic out yourself. You're going to need help, and you're going to need friends or family. And then you'll have a nice watermelon patch, and then in August you'll start to harvest them, and you'll get them up until practically the end of September. And they don't all come at once. As you saw, I have some small ones and some larger ones, and there's tons of blossoms coming. So I think you should try it. It's not that difficult. I just did it. I just tried it. I figured it wouldn't work, but boy, it works. And so I do it every year. All right, so that's the watermelon patch. Talk to you later.